I feel like there's not a lot of us. Uh, there's not a lot of people to talk to about it, um, and it's just people just don't get it, and it's tough. That's what's really tough about it. Uh, we don't expect people to know it, but I think we're often looked like that we're crazy. Um, it goes to a lot of different perspectives, uh, and it gets harder and harder. It really does. But as Veterans Day comes and goes, it's one day. It brings us back to the memories of what we were, what we did, who our family was at that time out there. Um, and I never realized until I got out about how many people did not like us. They hated the military. They hated us, what we did, blah, blah, blah. I remember a few years ago I got out, and I remember getting like all these messages on Facebook about how I'm a baby killer. I'm just a killer. I'm there for oil, blah, 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 like me. Like, so at the time, a lot of these people were saying it, and it was kind of mind-blowing and shocking to me. Um, what regardless of what people think our leaders do or why we're there, it's one of those things where they weren't there. They weren't there. We were there. We all that stuff it's just funny to me, what people really think. Um, Again, that's not a lot of people. Just unfortunately, there's enough out there. Um, as far as being treated, I think veterans don't get treated as good as they should be in many aspects. And I don't, I don't understand certain things that some people get and veterans just do not, and to be a veteran's tough because of the medical, because you got to fight for your disabilities, and the problem with that is too, is people fake disabilities. People don't even deploy, and they say they're messed up, or they have some sort of physical ailments or mental problems, and the people like that make the people that need it, they don't get it in time, and I'm just trying to think of it from a veteran's perspective, and it's very, very difficult to comprehend what our healthcare system is. I mean, for civilians, and then just to think about what the vets do. It's tough. It's tough. I don't believe in handouts. I don't. So it's tough for me to say we deserve certain things, but I know a lot of people always tell me you deserve this, you deserve that, and it means a lot to me. But it's still hard for me to say I deserve that. Uh, I deserve, I don't like thinking that I'm owed something. Um, but then in retrospect, I feel like we should get taken care of a lot better. So that's always the struggle with me, and being a veteran. Um, a good thing about being a veteran is the amount of people that respect us, the amount of people that come up to me if they know I'm a Marine, come up to me at airports. They see me with the shirt on, or they'll say thank you for your service. And anything like that's awesome. because I don't need that. I don't need somebody to say that to me. To me, it was a job. To me, it was a job that not a lot of people wanted to do, regardless of the cause, regardless of what people think for political reasons. I was doing it for my country. That's just how I was. And it was a job. It was a job. And you know, I bitched, I moaned, I complained. I mean, Iraq sucks. Iraq sucks. You know, 2 years in a row. Just to get into that a little bit, you know, when we deployed in 2005, we went from February to September. We got home in North Carolina. We got to see our families for like 10 days. Then we went to California to train for Iraq again in February. We had no time to adjust, none. And I guess that was their goal, or they were just doing what they needed to get us in and get us out, just use us for what, you know, we were there for. Now, it was in the job description, but the job description doesn't always say how you're going to come out of there after or during. My first deployment was crazy. I was, you know, I'll get into it later in videos. I was a lead machine gunner, and you know, and the videos that I've posted have been about my second deployment, which, you know, was bad. They both were bad. So with that being said, also being a veteran is something that I'm very proud of, and I'm very proud of everybody that's been in there and did it and seen battle, seen something. I'm not saying you fly over to Kuwait and you stay there and you say, you know, you're deployed, you deserve all these benefits, you did this, you did that. You know, that's tough for me because I know what my Marines did with me. I saw what we did every day, how we left the wire every day. I get it. Every Marine, every military member has a job to do, and without them, it wouldn't be possible. But then again, like the pride in being a veteran is just way up here for me. And it's not that we look down on people. It's that, I'm trying to put it in my own words, that it's just, you know, it's one of those feelings where you feel like you've done so much more than people will do in their lifetime in possibly 7 months, or go through. I should say, not done, but or some people done. In those 7 months, I think we had a total of 3 days off, 2 or 3 days off. That's it. So every day you wake up, you're there. That's just how it is. You know, and again, I'll do the unfiltered versions as we go on with these, because everything's so filtered. No news outlets are going to talk about this stuff. They only talk about the negative stuff. But what does it truly mean to be a veteran? You know, it's hard. It's hard. But it comes with a ton of pride and respect, and that's why respect and discipline are so important to me. That's the way I coach. It's just the way I instruct. It's just the way I am with people. You know, we could complain all we wanted, but we did it regardless. And you know, I'm not talking about complaining because we got to take the trash out. I'm complaining because we didn't have a day off or sleep in the past 3 days type stuff. But they made us work anyway, you know, just to keep us busy. So, you know, I feel like we've done so much. Just going back to those days, every single day. Being with your Marines, being with your family, dealing with them, living in a little trailer with 3 people, living in a 150-degree tent, trying to sleep with a bunch of Marines. That sucked, but it put us to where we are today, and it put me where I'm at today. It was wonderful. apartment and hotel that I'm here for the next few days because the house is getting worked on or whatnot. So anyway, so there's not many words that I could say that what a veteran really means, really is. But on this day, it makes, it's weird to have people say thank you. You know, especially when I look at it as that was a job. Like, I mean, do I tell the postman thank you? I don't know, maybe I do, or, you know, but that's their job. You know, so I try to be humble, but then at the same point, it's frustrating when I see people not doing a lot at all and just without any goals and, you know, or they haven't been through anything tough and they get all this stuff handed down. That's what's tough.
Scary life after the military. You know, and the transition is tough. Finding trustworthy people. We always had our backs taken for the most part. We had our backs. We could have been fighting one day, but then we would be there for one another any second. And it just goes back to when I got blown up in the camaraderie. Out in the civilian world, it's not like that. You have a lot of people that are you know, snakes, rats, and, you know, that's tough. And I never understood it until the recent, probably a good 5 years, within the past 5-6 years. So I've seen some of these people, and it's just been just not the best experience. You know, people lie, people steal. They're all in it for themselves, and I don't know. That's not how it was in the military, and I feel like I stand out in those aspects, or a lot of veterans do. You know, we got used to the camaraderie and having people. That's why I think a lot of people get hooked on drugs or alcohol. We lose all those people. We lose the friends. We lose those bonds when we get out. And then when we're in for a long time, we don't see each other anymore for the most part anyway. So that's another tough thing. Another tough reason of why transitioning is so difficult. But, you know, with that being said, for one bad person, there's a million good people. Okay, not a million, but you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of good people for every bad person. But yeah, that's something else that's been difficult to deal with, but it's understandable now. And now you just have to watch out for yourself and your close ones, because sometimes the only one you could trust is yourself. And you know, and that's what being strong is. That's what being strong is, and feeling alienated. But sometimes I like to be alienated. We don't need to be hanging around a million people. We don't need to see these people every day. It's just not us. Sometimes we want to be alone, and that's just another tough thing that we face, or I face every day, and people don't understand it. But, you know, all I could do is try to enlighten people any way I can.